Oh, you're in for a real treat.
If we can dream it, then we can do it. Yes, we can, yes, we can.
Hang on to them hats and glasses, 'cause this here's the wildest ride in the wilderness.
Mickey pretzel, Mickey ice cream bar, or an ice cream sandwich.
Oh, this is so easy. This is so easy. Mickey ice cream bar. We're gonna love them. We're gonna like the Mickey pretzel, and we're gonna leave the ice cream sandwich. I can't even understand the ice cream sandwich.
Gets his stuff and gets ready to leave, and I was like, "You leaving?" And he said that's when he was like, "Okay."
Yeah. So.
But so why'd you pull over then?
I was probably more scared than anything. Pull over. I don't know if this guy's crazy.
For Polly, Grand Floridian, and Contemporary.
I would buy a Wookiee cookie before I would buy an ice cream sandwich in Disney. I'm just saying.
chose the music they chose, and that's why that they laid this life out, you know, from birth to death in the show. It's actually much more to it than I think a lot of people realize until we really start to see it more.
I'm going to skip out because I do have to do my football show where I will be picking the Patriots to lose this week. By the way, go Raven, out!
I'll talk to him later. Pete is great. Love Pete.
11 children in the house. Sometimes we would have 30.
You had the house to hang out at.
Ladies and gentlemen, Zach Stevens.
What's up, guys?
Well,
let's go live on YouTube. People might like to see that. Believe it or not, that first night we got 1,000 people watching. I don't.
Year after year.
You are now listening to a member of the Disney Podcast family. Head over to Disney Podcast Family on Instagram to see all the latest posts for this show and links to other great Disney podcasts.
Oh, you're muted.
Okay. Like, I thought I swore I clicked that. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the DIZPod. We do this live because we do it for you. You can listen to us on the replay anytime. You can listen and watch on the YouTube Music app. You can watch right here on its own channel, the DIZPod, as well as you can listen. You still can't view on any of those, I'm pretty sure, right? On those other platforms like
Spotify
Apple.
has video.
See, why did I think that then? So yeah, so Spotify has video, so you can watch or listen. You have iHeartRadio, Apple, and I do this all the time, but sometimes I forget. Usually I get on a good roll. Amazon, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Apple. Maybe I got them all. Okay, cool. All right. So you did not wear that shirt last time, so there you go. I don't know. You had it. Yeah, that's right. You didn't. I don't even know if I've ever seen that one. I like that button down. I went with my Baymax, but also have the Walt Disney T-shirt with the Walt Disney font, Disney World font with the Mickey Christmas lights, which is one of my favorites. And yeah, there it is. How's everything going?
Good. Yes, this one Catherine made. So this is an original.
Very nice. I like it.
Thanks.
I like it.
I like how it has an ugly Christmas sweater in the pattern.
Yes. Very nice. I mean, we can't wear ugly sweaters here much in Florida unless we get some, chilly night. Although tonight Tammy is wearing long pants because there's a slight chill in the air outside. Just enough to get your attention. I don't know what it'll be like tomorrow out in the parks, but I'll have to look. I think it's going to be okay, but I don't know. Those lower 60s have been getting our attention. We were out there Saturday night, and I don't know if it dipped into the high 50s. I can't remember. But it was rainy and miserable.
Yeah.
And it certainly caught our attention.
Yeah.
What a miserable day. Listen, we had fun. Besides the fun we had a lot of fun on Saturday. Don't get that wrong. But just weather-wise, it was like it rained from start to finish, and it was chilly.
Yeah, those
but we
are
make
not,
the best of
those
it.
are not fun. In fact, the other night there was a Christmas party, and it rained like thunder and lightning, so much so that people opened up their Disney app, and they had been issued a one-day park hopper ticket if they had bought a ticket to the party, automatic.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Kudos to Disney for doing that.
Yeah.
You can't please everybody though. I guess if you're a pass holder, that doesn't help you at all.
Yeah. So for a lot of them, they were just getting refunded the ticket because of essentially they couldn't do anything with the party. The parade was canceled. The show was canceled. Fireworks were canceled. So, the majority of the show or the party was non-existent. So they issued refunds. So it was good.
Do you think they just didn't give people another chance to go to another party because the other parties are sold out, or?
Yeah, I mean they're slammed up against it now. You've got the 14th and the 16th, and I think 2 more after that, if I remember correctly. But they're all sold out. So you weren't going to take an entire party's worth of guests and put them into what was left. It just wasn't enough tickets available.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense then.
I was reading on another, or not reading, I was watching another show, and they said that there are less people going to Epic than there are at a Christmas party right now at Magic per day.
Whoa, how about that?
I couldn't verify that, but that's what they're saying. Like the attendance is being throttled so much at Epic that it's that far down. So that's kind of interesting.
When are they going to give in and just give us annual passes? I don't know if that fixes their problem, but they'll have more attendance. We'll spend money on food and merchandise, but I know they say tourists spend more money than annual pass holders do.
So I don't know if that's the issue. I don't know if I think they're doing it to themselves. They're throttling their own attendance. They're just not allowing but so many to be sold. So I think opening up an annual pass would counteract what they're trying to do, whatever that is. So
now, why do you do that to your own park? Is it that you realize that, wait a minute, our park is a little bit small and wait times are high with a limited amount of people? Do they know exactly what they're doing, or are they kind of realizing maybe, I don't know, some shortcomings and things like that? I said this from day one when we went to Epic for a preview, that this park, people were saying, oh, this park is so big. Where did you get that from? That park is small. And if they're not at capacity now, it's going to be a nightmare for wait times beyond what it already is for certain attractions.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you look at what the wait times are right now, and they're keeping it that low. That's I could only imagine.
I've told Jacob this a few times. I said, when we get annual passes, it's really going to be the mindset of, okay, what are you happy with doing today? Okay, if we get Mario World done and, maybe Harry Potter, we're good. I don't think it's going to be like, let's try to attack, as much of the park as possible, which you always try to do, but let's try to get it all done. I don't even think we'll come close to that if capacity increases.
And what are there, 11 attractions? I think it's 11.
Is it 11? Yeah, if it's not 11, it's a little less than that. What do you have? You have Mario World has has Mario Kart, has Yoshi, and am I going blank? on another one, or is that it? Mario Kart. Oh, and Donkey Kong. So that's 3.
Mhm.
I mean, we could just Google it fast rather than I count everything. But Monsters has 2. Harry Potter has 1, right? Just 1.
Says
Right
there are
now.
11 attractions. There are 50 experiences, they say, but that is you are taking that,
You see my
um,
face.
that there's no way that you're not counting every bit of every little experience as an overall attraction. So they're saying, there's 50 plus attraction/experiences. That's rides, shows, shops, okay, dining, and immersive zones. So they're even counting the the lands.
That's reaching. Like dining? Dining? And shopping?
There's no way. Oh, there's 17 stores. Great. Congratulations. That doesn't count. That's not an
Wow.
attraction. Honey, what do you want to do now? Let's go to the 4th store in a row, because that's what we like to do when we're here. No.
Yeah. Excuse me. And I love Epic. Love it. Love it. I just, I don't know. It's got to be bigger. They need more attractions. Do you think that, sorry, everybody, we're going down this rabbit hole, but do you think that they're still throttling attendance and they knew this all along? Like, we'll just throttle it. We're going to open quick with what we've got, and then we'll start building more attractions, and then we'll expand attendance. They need more stuff. They need more people eaters. Maybe they need another show or something like that. Disney doesn't let certain things go. Universal doesn't let certain things go. A big people eater for them, especially when it's hot out, is Popeye and Bluto's, believe it or not. Dudley Do-Rights. Those eat a lot of people when it's on those hot summer days, and takes away from ride times. Keeps the ride times down.
There's I don't know what the answer is. I find it so funny. Like, I can't wait to see the 2026 numbers come out, because there were so many people online, and they were mainly Disney haters probably, that were like, oh yeah, Magic's going down. Disney World's going to be a ghost town. You can look back on this show, every episode where we talked about Epic, and I say it till I'm blue in the face. If you have the most visited park, Magic Kingdom, in the entire world, some new park, unless it's called Magic Kingdom 2, is not going to take any bit of, maybe attendance was hurting this year at Animal Kingdom, right? Especially with as much as Animal Kingdom has going on. Okay. So maybe that's the park that suffered. Maybe it was SeaWorld. It was not Magic Kingdom. You are not going to put a hurting on Magic Kingdom with Epic Universe opening. Sorry, just not going to happen. It's 2 totally different places. So, yeah. Can't wait to see those numbers. Especially when you find out that more people go to a Christmas party at Magic Kingdom than Epic Universe on a full day.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So, yeah. All right. So this has been our Epic Universe show.
That was the Epic segment. Now we're ready for the next thing.
So today is December 9th, December 13th. I will be in the parks. Be glad to be in the parks, hanging out that weekend, doing the Pete McDevitt meetup in the morning, then going to the parks. That night will be Magical Night of Hope. And it's a great event that goes towards a great charity. You can watch that event on the Multiview, dsn. Excuse me, dsn.disneystreams.com, and be able to donate there. So you'll be able to watch there while everything else is happening. So while we're in the parks, you'll be able to check in on that right on the Multiview. So be sure to check that out.
How did you get that? Who's broadcasting it?
So Resort TV 1 will have it. So he's simulcasting it on his channel. So it'll be on the Multiview.
Oh. Okay, because Corey is showing it as well. So, right? So
Yeah. I think Corey Meets World, Steve's World, and Resort TV 1 are broadcasting it all at the same time. So since Josh is in the network, it'll be on the Multiview. So be sure to check that out, and you can donate right there. So very good cause. A lot of us in the Disney community obviously support it, and one of our friends of this channel and Living in Diz and member of the DSN is performing that night. So be sure to check out Josh playing his saxophone. So this weekend also we will be celebrating Dick Van Dyke's 100th birthday, which is just incredible. And he was performing, I was watching a podcast with him the other day, and he was saying he was still looking for work. Like, he does not want to stop. And that's probably what's kept him as young as it has. He's just done so much. And there's so many, as I was doing research for this, so many little things that I did not know about Dick Van Dyke. I mean, we all know him from Mary Poppins. Do you know of any other movies that you saw, movies or shows or anything that you saw that stick out to you that he's been in?
Just Mary Poppins more than anything. But when I hear the name Dick Van Dyke, immediately my brain just goes to his classic show. Him coming home, tripping over the the furniture and all that stuff. That's kind of where I go, because I'm older, So it was in reruns by the time, when I was born, but I just kind of remember that, in the music.
Yes.
I mean, is that the right music?
That's
the
it.
right music?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. Yeah.
Okay.
So I was watching the podcast, and it was actually being hosted by Ted Danson and Mary Steenburgen, his wife. And Ted told the story that he did not have a TV growing up. He didn't have a TV until he went to college, and he found a TV on the street, took it inside, plugged it in, got some antenna from a teacher or something like that. And the very first thing that he saw was Dick Van Dyke tripping over the ottoman. So that was his introduction to TV. And here he is, now as big a star as, Ted Danson is. So it's just so funny to think Ted Danson was in college when Dick Van Dyke was tripping over the furniture on the Dick Van Dyke Show. And, we look at Ted Danson and he's older, but Dick Van Dyke is turning 100. Like, there's so many people that, I'm trying to think of some of the older, like Norman Lear, who did all the great shows, All in the Family and all that. He lived to be very, very old. Betty White, George Burns, probably the oldest that we know of in comedy. But, it's nice to see some of them around and still. Carol Burnett, she's up there in age. But how much joy have they been, laughter have they brought to us all these years? It's just amazing what they've done. Now, he is a Disney legend, and that is well deserved, because that movie Even Walt Disney said that it was his top movie that he's ever done, was Mary Poppins.
Yeah, I have heard that. What now? He's done more. What are we gonna get to that? What is his resume for Disney?
So let's talk about, and I don't remember this movie like I want to. I really should go and watch it now. But Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, a lot of people talk about. And I remember watching that all the time as a kid. Theta Doreen's in the chat. She might be able to help me on this. On the podcast, they were saying that it's a holiday movie. And I don't remember that being a movie that we watched at the holidays. So I'm not sure. But that's probably his number 2 movie. He also did Bye Bye Birdie, the movie, which he did not like. Now, that wasn't Disney, but he did not like the movie because he had done it on Broadway. And when they went to do it on film, he said it was terrible and it took out so much of the essence of the play that he really didn't like it. And yet there's so many people that love that movie. So many people that love that movie. So yeah, if I go back to Disney, he did a ton of live action movies, obviously. And, you know, one of them was Robinson Crusoe. He did the Robinson Crusoe movie. Never a Dull Moment. He did Dick Van Dyke and the Fantastics. That was a TV special. And then a ton of Disney events and celebrations. But, the one big movie, obviously, was Mary Poppins. And, it wasn't like he was in 30 Disney movies, right? It was really Mary Poppins, but it stuck out, and it was so memorable that he ends up becoming a Disney legend because of it. So then he goes on and he does Mary Poppins 2 at the age of 93. And so I'm going to show a little clip on that here.
All right.
How incredible that he was so generous and just jumped at the chance to be in it, and he is such a joy, and I mean, so charismatic, and I think people were very emotional that entire day that he was on. There was sort of like a lot of ugly crying that went on, especially when he started tap dancing on the desk. I was like, forget it. Forget it.
Even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious, if you say it loud enough, you'll always sound precocious.
That was the joy of my life. I mean, he means so much to me personally. He was my hero. Watching him in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang and Bye Bye Birdie and the Dick Van Dyke Show, everything. He just was extraordinary. He's just magical, and he grabbed my hand as we walked onto the set first time, and he turned to me and he said, literally, I feel the same spirit here as I did on the first film, which was such a beautiful moment for me personally to hear that, because that was the goal. That was the goal, to sort of find that again, and he certainly brings that to our film.
Oh, it's awfully dark and gloomy up there.
There now, you see how wrong people can be? That there is what you might call a doorway to a place of enchantment. Up where the smoke is...
He's the sort of essence of the message of the movie, it turns out, because if ever there was somebody that's retained his childish spirit, it's him. And our jaws were all on the floor when he walked into the room and then got up onto a table and did a dance and then sat down behind the table and delivered this impeccable monologue and made everybody cry. And Rob Marshall was crying so much he couldn't call cut. Someone else had to call cut from behind the camera. So yeah, it was one of those moments on a set where you just want to pinch yourself. You can't believe how lucky you are to be there.
Everything is possible.
Even the impossible.
Off we go. 'Cause 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 'cause
So that really was a kind of a preview of Mary Poppins Returns, which didn't do great, but when you're putting it up against the original, how well was it going to do?
People have to be careful to not compare. We always want to compare, right? But they have to be careful to not compare movies that are so legendary. You make a mistake by doing that.
Yeah.
But man, how about, imagine being that person with so much, what's the word? Just legendary status. And everybody, it's just so eye-opening and such a thrill for everyone on set when you're there, and just to watch you in awe. I got the chills when she said, to see him tap dancing. Can you imagine? And Emily Blunt is a huge Hollywood star, and for her to be blown away by, like, oh my gosh, here's this legend doing what he is known for decades in front of me right now. This is something.
Yeah. So he didn't start out as a movie star. He did TV, he did Broadway, but he was actually the anchor on the CBS Morning News before all of that.
Whoa.
Yeah.
How about that?
And
obviously his desire was to become what he did and not a news guy.
And his partner on that show, Walter Cronkite.
Fun fact, my dad did plumbing for Walter Cronkite.
Get out.
Yes, on Martha's Vineyard. He had a home on Martha's Vineyard. And he did some work for Walter Cronkite. Right?
And the one of the reporters was Barbara Walters. So you had Walter Cronkite,
Barbara
Walters, and Dick Van Dyke doing the morning news.
Wow.
And then obviously Walter Cronkite went to evening, and that's where he took off. And then Barbara Walters continued to obviously go on to what she did, and then he moved on. Now, I'll tell you another weird fact that I found out. Because they didn't know what to do with him, that's why Walter Cronkite went to nights. Like, the show wasn't doing well. They were up against the Today Show, which was the hit in the mornings. So they tried him out at different things. One of the things they tried him out for was this new game show where people were going to guess the prices of things, called The Price is Right. He was going to be the original host of The Price is Right. And he did it, shot the pilot, and then he was like, I don't get it. This doesn't make sense to me. Why would this be a thing?
This will never make it.
This will never make it. So obviously the show did go on and did very well and is still doing well. And he went on to do a ton of other things. So it's just weird how, sometimes you think one thing is going to happen and you take this other turn, and then it just blossoms into something really cool.
Back then, who was the vice president? Jerry Lewis?
That makes me think of how many presidents he's, voted for or seen, in 100 years. It's crazy.
He's getting near the last of people, right? That saw major changes in the world. When you're 100, you saw a lot of changes.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like, I don't know, when we look back on ourselves who were born in the 60s or 70s, if we were to live 90 years or whatever, I don't think we could say we saw as much change in the world and technology as someone like him, unless I'm mistaken. we'd have to sit down and really dissect that. But I don't know. I mean, TVs and phones existed when we were born. We were already flying rockets.
Yeah. Yeah. He had stage fright, chronic stage fright. And
That's interesting.
Just got over it and continued to just develop because he loved, bringing joy to people. So it was really cool. Yeah, he met Stan Laurel.
Wow.
I mean, like you said, there's not that many people that can say that they knew Stan Laurel. So to bring it back to Disney World, in the podcast that I was watching, there's I don't know, this thing looked huge. I'm gonna say it might have been 7 or 8 feet. Mannequin of him as a chimney sweep. And so Ted Denson asked about it, and they said it was from the Great Movie Ride because that was in the scene, one of the scenes, but it was in the scene where Bert is on a fireplace. And so when they were getting ready to close the ride, they asked Dick Van Dyke if he wanted it. And he was like, yeah. So he took it, they shipped it to him with the fireplace and everything. And they're like, well, we don't have any room for this. So they took it off the fireplace and made it into a standing mannequin. And so that stands in his house now.
Wow. How about that?
So that makes me really wonder what happened to the rest of those props.
It just makes me think like we need a Disney World museum. Right?
Yeah.
Couldn't Disney open that on property somewhere? And you can put things like that in there.
Yeah.
People would go to that. People would go to that. Side note, but people would
They could charge money for it. People would go to it.
They could charge money. You could be like, oh, what are you doing today? Non-park day. We're going to Springs, and then we're going over to the Disney World Museum.
Yeah.
And we're going to look at all kinds of cool things, that have, taken part in Disney. Or just not even just Disney World, Disney Museum.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
I like that too. So, it's just fun to think about. There's certain scenes. Do you have a favorite scene from Mary Poppins?
I'm just gonna go with some of the more popular stuff because I really haven't seen it in quite some time, and haven't seen it very much. We did see it. We saw it locally as a play as well when the kids were younger, which was very enjoyable. But probably the Step in Time scene, if I'm saying that right, with Dick Van Dyke.
Yeah.
Is probably my favorite. And then of course, when I'm not sure the title of the song, but Chim Chimney, Chim Chiroo. That. And that's kind of what you see in the Great Movie Ride as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I like some of the more popular scenes. But whenever I have to take some medicine by a spoon, I'm always thinking about a spoonful of sugar.
One that always maybe it's because I'm a dad and you get dad jokes now. But the scene where they go to Uncle Albert's house and they're trying to get him down and he's laughing hysterically. And the more that they laugh, the more they float up to the sky, and he's got all these dad jokes. So I always remember the one where you go, I once met a man with a wooden leg named Smith. And then the other one says, what's the name of his other leg? So just silly stuff like that. It's just a fun movie. You can't help but laugh at that movie. And there are
Allison,
there are some slower moments, right? Like Feed the Birds. even Let's Go Fly a Kite is not a funny song. It's a fun song, but it's not a funny song. But it just ties the whole movie together. So, and then in that scene, you see him, you know, kind of wave off to Mary Poppins. And while she clearly was the star of the movie, that movie would not have been what it was without him.
Right? I agree.
Just nowhere near it. So I was glad that that happened. And I also found out that where he plays the elder banker in that, because he plays two parts. So where he plays the elder banker, Disney wanted somebody else to play that. And Dick Van Dyke was like, no, I think I can play that. And Disney was like, no. And he's like, look, I'll do it for free. He's like, no, we need to get somebody else. And then
that won't fly with the union.
The story that Dick Van Dyke tells is that he then said, I'll give you $7,000 to let me do the part. So, I don't know if that's true or not. That's what he says.
Wow.
But I think that tied it together. And then, you know, obviously so many years later in Mary Poppins Return, you see him play a similar role as the junior, but now he's the elder banker. And so it just tied it together. So I thought that was cool.
Cool story.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, he was great. And it's funny, as a kid, right? I knew Mary Poppins, and then I would see Dick Van Dyke show in reruns. And as a very young kid, it was hard for me to correlate the two. Like, hey, but he's in Mary Poppins. How could he be? Yeah, I just remember that. Very young, I finally did get it. Yeah, understand.
Okay.
People can play two different roles.
Yeah, I was just trying to think if I ever thought that about anybody, but I can't really think that I've done that.
Larry Hagman. I want to say that the same thing happened there, because you had I Dream of Jeannie and then Dallas.
I just remember who killed JR.
Yeah.
Back then. That was a big deal.
That was
who
huge.
killed JR. Tonight we're going to find out who killed JR. Did we ever find out who killed JR? That's what I want to know.
Yes. There was we had some good moments in 80s TV, I'll tell you that.
That Friday night lineup, man. That Friday night lineup. By my memory, anyway, I feel like the Friday night lineup on CBS, and not quite in this order, maybe, but I feel like it was like Buck Rogers and Dukes of Hazzard and the Hulk. I just remember wanting to come home. We'd go out to dinner and for fish and chips.
Mm.
My mom's watching. She's like, oh, yeah. And then come home and watch those shows. That was our thing. That Friday night lineup. Remember when TV controlled your life? Do you remember that?
Oh,
it controlled your life. Oh, I got to go. It would be like, oh, Lawrence, I got to get off this podcast because my show's on at 9. Not like, oh, I'm just going to DVR it. DVR was a big revolution in the world.
Saturdays, I would go, when I was in high school, I would go out to, I was in a bowling league, so we would go bowling in the morning. Then I would go hang out with my friend. And I had to leave his house by, I don't know, 6:30 maybe, because I had to be home. I had to take the bus all the way back to Long Island because I had to be home for Cops.
Bad boys.
Or you could set the you could set the VCR, not the DVR. You could set the VCR, but you had to hope that a couple things happened right. A, that you set the time right, because plenty of times we missed shows because you didn't do that. If you were home and recording an episode, I hated commercials. Did you hate commercials?
Oh, still do.
So I would pause the recording when the commercial started. and then forgot.
Yes.
Forgot to hit the pause button after the commercials are over. And you're like, oh, crap, I missed 5 minutes of the show.
I hate these first world problems. I hate them. It was a revelation with the DVR, too, when you were like, wait, because I thought you were going to say when you start recording it, you know, say you got home 15 minutes after it started recording, you're going to wait till it's done. It has to be done before you can watch it.
Before you can watch it.
DVR, you can just jump in.
Yep.
You know, and start watching even though it's midway through recording.
Yeah.
And now you can play with stuff. You ever play with stuff? Like start something, like you're available, but you're like, I'm going to wait about 20 minutes for this program to get into it. Then I'm going to start watching so I can bypass the commercials. And if I time it right, I'll be done when the show is done.
Yeah. 100% right there. We have done that so many times. I remember when TiVo came out, we had a TiVo. We actually still have
that's
them
what I thought of.
upstairs.
TiVo was the leader, the first DVR ever, I believe.
Yeah. We still have them upstairs. Why? Because we paid for a lifetime subscription.
Really? And do they honor it and it still work?
I have no idea. I would assume so because they're still around. But I would have to take it's the size of a VCR, take it out, put it somewhere. Now I might have to do that.
Steve used to watch Chips and BJ and the Bear.
Wow. Yeah. They're just not. TV was an event, right? The Dick Van Dyke Show was an event. The family sat around and watched that. You don't really get that as much now.
It comes down to technology again.
Yeah.
Right? Social media, internet. If we didn't have that, we'd still be right back there where TV would be a big event.
MTV is shutting down all their auxiliary channels, all their music, all the MTV music channels. They're all going away. I think the end of the year.
Technology killed the video star is pretty much what it was.
That's right.
Because we all remember, a lot of us remember anyway, certain age, that you waited for like Thriller to come on again. Or, I don't know, Madonna, Crazy for You, something.
Mm-hmm.
You just waited. And it was like so rewarding when it finally came on, you know?
Well, we sat around, I can remember watching Michael Jackson's Remember the Time as the world premiere on MTV. And Black or White, which was massive, and it had the secondary scene and all that kind of stuff. So you sat around and watched those premieres because you didn't want to miss them. Yeah, see, Mom says, "Remember the Time." Yeah, that was a big one for us.
So Sharon Hecker asks, does anyone make music videos anymore? And I'm going to say yes, because I think they do still make them and you can watch them. You just have to search it, I believe. I don't know if every band is doing it as much as they needed to for MTV. I'm going to assume yes, but I'm not positive. With every single comes a video.
Probably not. Because I think it was really a vehicle to push the music. So, for example, when we first moved to North Carolina in the 90s, music had to catch up. Like if it was a band from New York or the music started in New York, it had to work its way down the coast to North Carolina. Same thing like Florida. So 95 South, and what's the other band? It was Whoop, There It Is, and the other one. There was like a twin. Whoop, There It Is, and Whoop, There It Is. If I remember that correctly. So they started in Miami. So any of the Miami sound had to travel up through the East Coast, and the New York sound had to travel down. So in North Carolina, I would get it after all my friends in New York. And then vice versa if it was a song that started in Miami. And so MTV was really that way to push it out nationally. And now with YouTube and streaming and social media, it's hitting the world at the same time. Whereas before it used to be timed.
I think you nailed it. Because radio was local.
Right.
To every state, every region.
Yeah.
And so MTV became that nationwide radio station with video.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, what was national? Casey Kasem, America's Top 40. Out of that, like you said, everything was local.
It was, and I don't believe it was done live.
No.
I was in when I was in radio, it was not done live. I did Rick D's in the morning on Sunday mornings, the Sunday morning countdown, and that was actually that was delivered by mail on like 4 CDs. 4 CDs, and you cue it up and you play the first track, and when the track is done, you go to commercial, and then you just hit play on the next track. And so it always came in recorded. Yeah.
Rick D's. I do remember that.
Yeah.
See, we'll take you on a whole.
I know. At one point, we were talking about Dick Van Dyke. It's probably my fault.
But you know what? It does make sense because we've talked about movies, we've talked about TV, we've talked about music, and Dick Van Dyke has done it all. He's gone through everything. I mean, he was he wants to do even at almost 100 now, he wants to get his barbershop quartet back together. He says the problem is he can't find anybody that sings barbershop quartet. I'm like,
have him give me a call.
Go to Disneyland.
Oh, I know, right? They would jump at the chance. Can you imagine if he just surprised guests one day and just became part of that on Main Street?
That would be crazy.
I'd pass out.
Yeah.
Did you know that in 2024 that Dick Van Dyke appeared in Coldplay's song All My Love, where he sings and dances and reflects on his life and career alongside Chris Martin?
Yeah.
So he's been on MTV before. He's done a music video.
Yeah, it's and
he's done more than that too.
At 99, folks. At 99. It's crazy to think about that though. Like, even we've been pretty lucky. Like, Betty White was still, I mean, how old was she when she was on SNL? And the show that she was on recently, again, it was for women. I think it was kind of playing on the Golden Girls idea. I cannot think of the name of that show. Somebody in chat will tell us. And then she even had did you see the prank show that she was in? It was all senior citizens, and they would go around doing pranks on. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was a character. She lived life to the fullest. Imagine living life that long and having a great time.
Yeah. Seriously. I was just looking because I know that he won a Tony.
Oh, Sharon Hecker says hot in Cleveland.
Hot in Cleveland. There you go. Thank you, Sharon. That was it. He did not win an Oscar, so he doesn't have the EGOT, but he did win a Tony, a Grammy, and several Emmys. Wow. Yeah. Just missing him the Oscar for the EGOT. Yep.
He needs to go do a film so that they
film.
Can just do this honorary Oscar for him.
He should have got one for Night at the Museum. Okay.
Well, they don't award Oscars for comedy.
No.
That's a whole nother thing. They need to revamp everything they do for the Oscars and
Yep.
how they determine the winners. I
Yeah.
got a good formula for that.
So yeah, so happy birthday, Dick Van Dyke. You have brought many of us many laughs. I could put on Mary Poppins right now and absolutely just love it. The great accent and all.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that? Did you know that his vocal coach for that? And this is why he attributes the accent being so bad. His vocal coach was Irish.
Oh.
So he says that's why my English accent was so bad.
Oh, that's funny. Disney, you got to be better than that. They couldn't find an English vocal coach.
It's funny the stuff that that stuff wouldn't pass now. People would be like, they'd laugh that out. No way.
All the haters on Instagram would be all over that.
Yeah. Be like, no way. No. He knew. That was the other thing. He knew Walt Disney. There's only so many people alive that knew Walt Disney.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Julie Andrews, him, excuse me, Bob Gurr, Tony Baxter worked for him, right?
Yes. He did.
Yeah.
Tony Baxter, if anybody doesn't know, he is basically the Imagineer behind Big Thunder Mountain, the original Figment.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been in the same room with Tony Baxter where he says he hates the Figment we've got now. He hates it. And he goes, "What? I can say that. What's Disney going to do? Fire me?" He does not like the current iteration or the second one.
Oh, that one.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you know how I on the post show I try to find old attractions. I don't think maybe I didn't look hard enough for on purpose, but I don't think I have found the second version
second one?
of Figment.
I don't know if I got to experience the second version. I don't know how I would know. I don't know how I would know this. But he first met Walt. He was selling popcorn. Walt just comes on over, grabs he serves Walt a popcorn. They do a quick little, chit chat. Walt tells him to, keep up the good work, son. And moves on his way. I mean, can you even just imagine that kind of interaction like that? Like, imagine if you just be in transport back in time and just be Tony Baxter for a second, and just Walt comes by and grabs a popcorn.
Crazy.
I would also think that I would probably treat Walt like I treat now I just went blank. Josh D'Amaro, who will be the next Walt. We think, right? I've seen him enough in Disney. It's what's up, Josh? And we chit chat for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Walt would be that way too. I'm sure Walt was the same way as Josh D'Amaro is. Josh is a people person. You can approach Josh. You can have a conversation with Josh. Josh and I have a connection with our local ties with each other and talk sports. That gives me the chills every time I say that. It's just pretty cool. And I'm sure he's just good at identifying people, right? People he's interacted with before and talked to, because at least when he sees me, it's not a hello to a stranger. It's kind of like, oh, hey, what's going on, man?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I think that's really cool, really special to me. But yeah, I think Walt was probably that way. Why would he walk through the parks in
right,
which is his baby, and these guests, are enjoying his creation? Why wouldn't he interact with people? It would be cool to hear stories from people who just interacted. Like Walt, I was standing on Main Street waiting for the parade, and Walt came over and started talking to me. I'm sure those things occurred.
What year did you first go to Disney?
I'm not good with stuff like this. I would say let's see. Jill was born in 06, Tammy. So Tammy, we went in 06 when Tammy was very much pregnant. If I backtrack from that, I'm just going to guess and maybe say 04.
Yeah, so you
was
would
the first
not have
time?
seen the second one because the current one opened in 02.
Oh, okay. So we missed it.
Yeah. So I would have seen the first one. Probably the second one because I was there in February of 2001. And, my oldest, John Tez, he was 7 at that point, or 6 at that point. So we probably would have done Figment. So I'm going to say I was on the second one, but I have no recollection of that ride. And then obviously the third one, yes. And maybe at some day we'll be able to say the fourth.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe someday soon.
Yeah, I think what Disney should do with that ride is just let's really don't just remake the original, but put so much nostalgia in it that it would make people love it. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Bring back Dreamfinder in some way and that
Yeah.
kind of thing. Old Mouse Gear, which some people might not know, but I think most of you do know that Old Mouse Gear became Creations.
Mm-hmm.
That has no character at all, but I don't mind Creations. But they had some old stuff in there from the original. They had the Dreamfinders. I don't know what you call it. His Dream Machine.
Yeah.
That was up on the wall, which is pretty neat. I had no idea what I was looking at, though, to be honest. I was new to Disney World, newer back then. Even when we first moved here, when we first started going, I was a little bit new. I didn't know the history like that.
Yeah.
Now, if I did, I would have been like, whoa, look at that. Speaking of that, you know that Disney Springs, we checked out Disney Springs the other day. And we went to the pop-up shop. That pop-up shop is cute. That pop-up shop is cute. But boy, does that reek of spending money. Let me tell you. I mean, it's all mystery boxes. And to me, I could be call me a naive, but I don't know if there's a way to trade those things. Like, I don't mind mystery boxes with Disney pins because there's a possibility I can trade the dupes. I don't know if anybody knows in the comments. You can comment later or comment now. If I buy these figurines and I get some dupes, am I stuck with them? I don't know if there's this whole other culture we don't know about. Just like I didn't know there's whole culture with pins anyway. I know we pin trade, but now that we've dove into it, that there's Facebook groups and this and that where you can trade with people and this and that. But the pop-up shop is cute, very cute. Love the Star Wars collection. There's a ton of Stitch collections and things like that. But what we did notice, I'm going to give Jacob all the credit because I probably it wouldn't have dawned on me, but the Mr. Toad ride vehicle is gone.
Really?
Do you remember that used to be there? The pop-up shop is to the right when you first walk into the co-op. I thought it took over the D-Tech area, but it didn't. They took the shop that was on the right and put it in the D-Tech area, and now the pop-up shop is on your right.
Okay, so what's the pop-up shop going to be? Is it going to be temporary and flip to different things, or does it look permanent?
I mean, it looks permanent. They've put new shelves in there all around the walls, as opposed to where you had a lot of T-shirts and jerseys hanging up before on those walls. Now they're all shelves. I think they're all white shelves. Good lighting, and it's like every section has a different collection that you can collect. And in the middle, it's like this display table that has a ton of Star Wars characters there. And then there's this tiny, tiny table where they encourage you to go over there and unbox what you've bought and post it on social media, which is a nice. Listen, that's a nod for two things, right? That's Disney saying we love social media. For all of you that have a problem with social media, people, that's Disney saying, hey, I want you to post this on social media. And it's also, again, it's free advertising for Disney and creates the hype, and maybe it'll get more people to go and buy some more figures.
Yeah.
But I love the figures, and I think they're decently priced, $16.99 for the most part. I was tempted to buy some Star Wars ones, but once you get that dupe, it's like, oh, what do I do? So I don't know if there's a way to trade your dupes. I suppose if you're there and nobody was there, of course, we got there late. We were the only ones in the shop. But maybe there's times you get lucky, right? There's probably times you get lucky where if you're opening up a few and someone else is, and you're like, oh, hey, I don't have this one, but I see we can make a trade here. So, because we have dupes on something. We did that on May the 4th, remember? We were trying.
Oh, yeah.
Were we both? Was it that we were both trying to get all the wishables, the Star Wars wishables?
Yeah.
And we both came out with all of them, I think, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and you guys didn't do bad. I think maybe one dupe each.
Yeah.
And then you were able to trade it right after that, so it worked well.
Yeah. So, boy, we covered a lot of things along with Dick Van Dyke. Did we finish Dick Van Dyke?
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, there's actually. Let me show this. I did pull this in. I guess there is going to be a event for Fathom this weekend, so I'll show that, and then we'll head out.
All right.
I mean, simply put, he's an icon. He is somebody who innovated film and TV.
I consider myself one of his first leading ladies.
Well, I never really thought of myself as a comedian, really. I'm an entertainer and a song and dance man.
Why look so awfully tragic? Put on a happy face.
I mean, he's in a class by himself, Mr. Creative.
Dick Van Dyke, loved it. I just loved it, still love it.
Starring Dick Van Dyke.
He missed the Ottoman sometimes, and sometimes he tripped over the Ottoman.
Oh, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
When we started filming, it just felt right, everything about it.
Oh, you pretty chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, we love you.
He's a great human being and one of the most generous performers that I've ever worked with.
My birthday. If you hadn't mentioned that, I would have completely forgotten it.
He's the most incredible human being in terms of his likability, and he's a mammoth talent like nothing else.
Dick Van Dyke, this is just so well timed and so deserved.
I look better than the house.
He's the most gifted physical comedian that ever lived, and I'm talking about Chaplin, Keaton, and anybody else.
Seriously, though, no fooling around in here. Stuff's really old.
Everything is distinctive about him.
Go fly a kite.
There's nobody else but Dick Van Dyke.
I think I'm in love.
You blew me away out of my seat. Sensational. Keep it up.
Thank you. Happy birthday, darling.
Oh, honey, thanks.
So there you go. Make sure to check that out if you're interested.
Yeah, that'll be a great documentary right there. That'd be cool if Disney Plus put that up.
It would. I wonder if they have. I'll have to search and see if they have anything on Dick Van Dyke on Disney Plus.
Yeah, incredible man. I'm glad we had a chance to celebrate his life while he's still with us.
Mhm.
We tend to do these things when people are gone, but good to do it now. It's an amazing feat to reach 100. Even to reach your 90s is just amazing. You know, if I was asked, you know, what are you looking for? I'm like, get me to my 90s. You know, you can't complain. You can't complain when you get that far. What a life.
Yeah.
You know, unbelievable. A truly talented man. Yeah. So, I think we might want to look at focusing a little bit more on doing more of these feature pieces.
Okay.
Let us know in the comments if you like this. We can do a lot of different features on people, and yeah, I like it. We'll have to talk more about that.
All right. Very cool. I'd like to do one on Carol Burnett. I know she's not really Disney, but she's fun.
By the way, I wanted to point out, did anyone watch the football game last night? The Eagles and Chargers, but not the real game, the Monsters version. I think that I've watched all of them, and I just feel like Disney did an amazing job this year. I think it was the best that they've done. It was pretty incredible. I alerted you and some of my other friends, just in case you all didn't know or didn't realize it was going on. Disney Springs had a big poster up on Saturday, which alerted us again, like, oh, it's this Monday night. They did a great job. And they even, Jalen Hurts from the Eagles threw 4 interceptions. And if you were watching the Monsters version, Sully intercepted him 4 times.
I did see
So that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. And the halftime show was great with Mike Wazowski competing with Sully, and Mike won, and it was pretty cool. Disney did a great job, so I hope they get good ratings for that, and we see more of those in the future. Now, being such a great football fan, I don't like to miss any games. Tammy liked the setup I had. I just set my iPad up on the couch, and I synced it. I synced it with the Disney version, so at any time we could look down and see the real play as opposed to what was happening on the field with Monsters. And if anybody doesn't know, every NFL player has technology now on them, on their bodies, in their helmets, and they must be connected to their bodies too. But it can tell how fast they run. It's a GPS locator, so somehow technology-wise, they connect that to the characters on the field, and you're able to see an actual football game with it. So it was a lot of fun. So if you missed it, I'm guessing Disney Plus has this right now stored.
I would think so, because I think the other games were on there too. I think the Toy Story game was there after it was over, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if it's still there, but I thought it was on after it. So yeah, check it out. And we watched the first half.
Okay. And I wonder how they do some things, because I'm listening closely to the announcers in the Monsters version, and it's like they were so quick with certain lines.
I don't, Catherine.
It's really impressive.
Very impressive. Very impressive. I was like, that's the one thing I said to her, was like, I don't get how they're processing this that quickly. Like it's just, she was like, it's Disney. I said, I know, but there's a lot. I mean, just to do a live game is one thing, but then you've got to take it and convert it to the Monsters game. It was amazing.
Yeah, it's very impressive. It would be nice to see it behind the scenes, even if they did something on Instagram for a reel for 1 minute or something. Like, show us a little bit of, like, how were you so witty? Like, they'd make a call on a play, and then they'd tie in some Monsters funny line or history or something you might relate to if you know Monsters. It was like, whoa, how did they wow.
Yeah.
Very good. Very, very well done.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think they'll do more of that. I, of course, would not hate if they did a baseball game, but we'll see.
Right. That would be kind of neat. Maybe they should try different sports.
Try different sports.
And you had a great idea. Let's come back with Star Wars next year.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that was why I mentioned it. February of 2027 as the 50th anniversary of Star Wars, and they're going to be re-releasing the original in the theaters. So I don't remember what day it is, but I know where Corey will be that day.
Yeah, and then it's going to be, and I am sure this is going to happen, it's got to be coming out in IMAX as well. Like, I don't think we need to go see this at the local theater with the smaller screens. I think we need to go find the best theater experience we can find. And that'll probably be in Disney Springs. You know, that would be unbelievable, because I sat in theaters in 1977 at 5 years old and had no idea what I was watching, but boy, did I like it. Never seen anything like that before. Just a massive thing. I love that these movies are celebrating their anniversaries, and they're coming back out on the big screen. To sit in the theater and watch Jaws last year or the year before in IMAX, where Jacob and Jill had never seen a stitch of it, and to watch their reactions and jump scares and things like that, they have a true appreciation for movies like that. I saw that The Shining was hitting theaters this weekend in Orlando in the Regal Theater to celebrate the 45th.
Wow.
Yeah. That'd be something I'd love to take Jacob to see as well. Oh, God, yeah. 4DX Star Wars. Yes, please. Give me some. Give me some. You know what? When Star Wars comes out next year, that is 4DX for sure. Because Starfighter's coming out. What is it, next year or the year after? That's going to be a must see. Tammy's afraid that too much shaking around will make her sick, because we did a mild version, which was Back to the Future in 4DX, and you shake around. It's no joke. So, and our butts were hurting.
Can you not adjust the movement?
No.
Oh.
You can only adjust the water level. Do you want water or not water?
Okay.
I don't think you can adjust it. Do you think you can? Because you've been before.
Yeah, but it was so long ago.
Let me do some research on that.
Yeah, we'll have to find out. I feel like you can, because I think that would enhance the whole family experience, right? Because you want to go, she's a little concerned with it. You can all still go and really enjoy it.
I'm going to look into that. That's a great idea, because I said to her, I asked her multiple times, because I know she's not 100% in on it, especially for a movie that's over 3 hours in Avatar, Fire and Ash. I was like, this would be an amazing movie to see. And it's in I didn't think they did this, but it's in 3D as well. 3D. Can you imagine 3D
so
and 4DX?
And so does that make it 7D?
Yes, it does.
Okay. All right.
I can imagine those seats get loose too, right? So you see me moving. I could imagine when they're flying on the Ecrons, that you're going to feel like Flight of Passage without being in that position, just kind of floating. Because they told me at the theater when they saw Jaws, you could probably get seasick, because as the boat moved, so did your chair. So kind of slow and free flowing. And Tammy's the type, she's like, guys, go. You don't need me for everything. I'm like, but I want you to come with us. So I'll miss it in 4DX. My choice. But I'll say this last thing. Our butts hurt. All three of us, our butts hurt. If you go to a 4DX movie, everybody, and I'm not even trying to be funny, your butt will hurt. Because what's happening is you're clenching your cheeks to stay stable in the seat. It moves so much. Can you imagine moving around for 2 hours?
For 2 hours, yeah.
Like, there was a point where I was like, I don't know. I might have to stand up and, like, go for a walk or something. And when we were walking out to the car, I mentioned it, and Tammy and Jacob were like, oh, yeah, Dad, our butts were getting pretty sore because of all the movement.
Yeah.
But what an experience. I encourage everybody to try it.
Very cool. So tomorrow we have Magic? Epcot?
No, Epcot. We are at Epcot because of the rain. I don't know how much of our schedule was affected by the rain, but I feel like we probably wouldn't have done Regal Eagle and hit a couple of food booths if it wasn't for the rain. But the cookie stroll took longer than we expected.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when we've made our first stop in Communicore, I was like, oh, there's 4 cookies here. We're going to be done in no time. We got our 4, but that line was long.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think about Disney incorporating 4 cookies in one spot? You could say, well, you can knock out a bunch at once, but I feel like the time you waited for those cookies, you could have gone to 4 food booths for cookies and been out at the same time. So.
I mean, I think with it being there, it's okay. Had it just been a random country that had 4, I don't think I would have gotten it. But I think, if you think about like the festival favorites and the whole idea behind Communicore Plaza or Communicore Hall is that it's supposed to be about the festivals, and so I'm good with it there. But yeah, that line was long.
It was long. Yeah, it was long. So I took you all on Nemo and didn't want to make you all wait in a food line that long. So
yeah,
Tammy was good about it. I felt like I think I can do that and come back in time when you guys get done. And it was perfect timing because they just got outside when I had come outside of Nemo. So that worked. We made the best of it. It was rainy, but we got to see Ratatouille, and they thought it was pretty good as well. I know I threw a fit when you told me it was going to 2D, but ultimately it's better. It's sharper, it's clearer, it's more colorful.
I figured.
Yeah.
Plus, my other thought is having it in 3D, I think, detracted from the props around, like when you're going through the pantry and all of that. Because you have the 3D glasses on, I think it detracts from the actual props in the ride. So and I talked to Murray's Adventures, who's our Disneyland Paris streamer, and he was saying that they haven't been using glasses over there in a long time, and people love it.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely loved it. So we didn't get the extra scene in the queue that they got. Because they got some sort of scene, and I don't know if maybe it's where the glasses used to be. Maybe instead of just putting the wall up like they did for us, maybe they got some other scene there, but it still works. And then, so we're doing that tomorrow night, and then Thursday, I will be at Trans-Siberian Orchestra doing our.
All right. Are you going to see Zach?
Tradition. And they have the signing line back, so you can meet the band and have them sign stuff. So we'll get a program that has all their pictures in it, and then they'll all sign the program. So yeah, I'll get to see Zach and up close and shake his hand. He did wave at us last year from the stage, which was pretty cool. But I
nice.
get to actually see him this time. So.
He's a great guy.
Mm-hmm.
And Saturdays will be with you.
Yes.
We've got a jam-packed Saturdays before the stream even starts. We'll be doing the live meetup, Pete's meetup in Disney Springs from 11 to 1. And from there, we're going to grab some brunch.
I don't know how we're fitting that in 2 hours. There could be over 100 people there. This meetup will actually
just put us up a table. I think Pete's going to put you and I at a table and just have people come over. The signing line. The signing line.
This meetup is probably bigger than the actual meetup that he does in August. That's 3 days. He'll have more people at this meetup than he will at the one in Maryland. So looking forward to it. I've got new business cards that I'll be handing out. So that'll be nice. So the DSN may grow, this week. Who knows?
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, excited to be there. I'll fly in Friday night. Then we'll be hanging out Saturday. And then Sunday, Monday, I'll be at the parks also. And then fly home Monday evening.
Nice. And if you're good at Magic Kingdom, we'll be live at Magic Kingdom on Saturdays, everyone. I will get you into the LID Superbox for Starlight. I'll get you in the VIP box.
Probably for the second. Probably not for the first. I'll probably follow the parade for the first.
So you're gonna start on Main Street and just kind of follow it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Okay. Wait a minute. How can you produce the stream if you're doing that? If you're not
I
with
can
me?
produce the stream from wherever.
Okay.
I don't have to stand next to you to produce the stream. I'm doing it from 600 miles away right now.
That is true. That is true.
That is going to be a test, folks. On Saturday, I am remote producing. So Corey's signal comes back here to North Carolina from Florida, standing next to Corey. I am telling the North Carolina studios what to do and running the show remotely from there. This is absolutely crazy, but our friends have done it. Sierra's done it. Thad does it every single day. So I'm sure it will work out with no problem. So we'll see.
Love it.
Yep.
Love it.
Yep.
All right. Thanks for joining us, everyone. We do this live because we do it for you. And once again, if you're listening on any of the other outlets, thank you for listening. Leave comments and also let us know what you think of the podcast. You sent me something for Spotify, which looked pretty good. Like, do we have a little following over there? Like it's doing better than I expected.
Next week we will, being that it's a Christmas episode, it's the last episode of the season, we will, excuse me, have a recap of the year, see where we are on Spotify. If you go to YouTube, you should be able to get your YouTube recap as a viewer. It'll kind of tell you what channels you've watched for the year, what genres you've watched, all that type of stuff. So go to YouTube. If it's not in your app, go to youtube.com/recap and you'll be able to see it there. But we will recap our year on Spotify for the podcast on next show.
Sounds very good. Thank you for joining us tonight, everyone. And until next week, we are just a couple of bros talking Disney. We love you all. We'll see you tomorrow night. Epcot.
Good night.
Where the magic's here to stay.